In 1974, a seemingly peaceful home in Amityville, New York, became the site of a horrifying tragedy. 6 members of the defy family were murdered in their sleep. But the true horror wasn't just the crime. It was what happened next. The Lutz family moves in, a fresh start. A year later, the Lutz family moved in, unaware of the house's dark past. They thought they had found the perfect home, a place to start fresh. But some houses hold more than just memories. The first signs, something's not right. Kathy wrinkles her nose as she notices the smell. Do you smell that? It's like something's rotting. At first, it was just an odd smell, foul but fleeting. Yet, it returned, thick and suffocating, as if the house itself was decaying. The cold that won't leave, George stands in the hallway, his breath turning to mist. Why is it so cold in here? It's like a freezer. No matter how high the heat was turned up, certain areas of the house remained frigid. It was as if warmth itself was being drained away, leaving behind an empty, chilling void. The green slime. Something unnatural. Kathy recoils in horror, staring at the walls. What is that? It's coming from the walls. One day, Kathy discovered something truly disturbing. Green slime oozing from the basement walls. No explanation, no source. Just a viscous, repulsive presence that refused to stop. The red eyes, a watchful presence. Kathy whispers, her voice trembling. George, those eyes, what are they? Then came the eyes, glowing red, unblinking, staring from the shadows. No animal, no person, just an unseen presence, always watching, always waiting. The swarm of flies, a terrifying presence. George swats at the air, his face twisting in confusion. It's freezing. Why are there so many flies? In one of the coldest rooms, flies appeared from nowhere. They swarmed, buzzing violently, as if drawn to something unseen. No food, no explanation. Just the sound of relentless wings filling the silence. The whisper, a warning from the darkness. A chilling voice speaks George's name from the darkness. George, get out. George turns, his pulse quickening. Who's there? Then came the voice, low, urgent, telling him to leave. It wasn't just a warning, it was a command, and it would not be ignored. The physical attacks, unseen forces. Kathy screams, clutching her arm. It pushed me. Something pushed me. Kathy wasn't alone. Both she and George felt the unseen force, shoved, scratched, bruised by something that shouldn't have been there. Something angry. Something violent. The priest's visit, a fearful warning. The priest grips his rosary, his hands trembling. I can't do this. This place is evil. A priest was called to bless the house. He never finished. Terrified, he fled, warning the family. This house was more than haunted. it was cursed. The family's breaking point. We have to leave. Kathy's voice breaks as she pleads with George. We can't stay here. We have to leave. This house, it's trying to hurt us. After just 28 days, the Lutz family reached their breaking point. The house had taken its toll, mentally, physically. They left everything behind and fled into the night. The house stands empty. The end of the Lutz story. They left, but the house didn't stay empty for long. Their story ignited a media frenzy. But was it real? Or just a tale meant to sell? The truth, it remains elusive. The aftermath, a haunted legacy. The Amityville horror captivated the world. Skeptics called it a hoax. But what really happened inside that house? A troubled mind, or something far darker? The Amityville house today, still haunted. The house still stands today, its windows dark, its past a mystery. Paranormal seekers, skeptics, and the curious all come, wondering, does the evil still linger? Or was it all just a story? The enduring mystery. What lurks within? The Amityville horror, the story that refuses to die. Was it a haunting, a curse, or something even more sinister? The truth may never be known. But one thing is certain. Some houses are better left forgotten. In the 1990s, in the small, quiet town of Atchison, Kansas, a family's dream home became their worst nightmare. What began as excitement and hope quickly turned into something sinister. The wind howled softly outside, and the house creaked as if whispering secrets from the past. Shadows stretched long across the floors, shifting eerily, as if something unseen moved within them. This is the true story of the Sallie House haunting. The family moved in with high spirits, unpacking boxes, settling into what they believed would be a fresh start. Laughter filled the rooms, the scent of fresh paint still lingering in the air. But an unsettling presence loomed. Small, almost imperceptible things at first. A misplaced object, a flickering light, a strange feeling of being watched. Brushed off as coincidence, until the unexplained became impossible to ignore. Then, a soft thud, a child's toy, untouched, tumbling from a shelf. A whisper, just barely audible, drifting through the empty halls. A name, carried by the wind. Scratches. Deep, jagged, unnatural. Words carved into the very walls of their home. Sallie. A name that would soon be spoken in fear, its presence undeniable. The walls bore her name as if they were alive, desperate to tell a story long forgotten. Who was Sallie? And why did she seem so angry? A sudden gust of air, like a breath from the unseen, swept through the house. The feeling of fingers brushing against skin. Cold, unnatural. Then, the attacks began. The father, standing at the staircase, suddenly recoiled. A force, unseen, gripped his arm, tightening, leaving behind dark bruises. An icy sensation crawled along his spine. The walls shuddered with unseen energy. Whatever lurked in the house was no longer content with whispers and scratches. It wanted control. The disturbances turned into terror. Doors slammed shut on their own, each bang echoing through the halls like a warning. Shadows twisted unnaturally, pooling in corners where light should have reached. Then, the little girl, so innocent, so unaware, became its focus. She woke, paralyzed with fear, as a dark shape loomed over her, its presence suffocating, oppressive. A sharp gasp, a distant echo of laughter, a sound that did not belong. This was no lost soul, no lingering spirit. This was something ancient, something malevolent. Desperation set in, a frantic call for help. Voices crackled through static as paranormal experts listened to the family's story. Devices whirred, meters spiked, unseen whispers filled the air. The truth was undeniable. This was no ordinary haunting. A darkness had taken root, something far older than the house itself. A force that fed on fear, growing stronger with every passing day. A loud crash, a door slamming shut. Footsteps, but no one was there. One fateful night, the entity revealed its full strength. The walls trembled, objects flew, shadows crept forward, alive with fury. The house itself seemed to breathe, pulsing with unseen energy. The family was trapped, caught in a storm of chaos. A final confrontation, a battle unseen. Then, silence, eerie, unnatural stillness. The house stood frozen, the air thick with something unseen, something waiting. The spirit of Sally, gone, or so it seemed. A distant, lingering echo of laughter, the kind that sent chills down the spine. The family fled, never to return. The hauntings ceased, but the questions remained. Who was Sally? And was she ever truly alone? Was she the victim, or the harbinger of something far worse? The whisper of the wind, the house standing, waiting, watching, or is she still there, waiting